Jaguar just exposed Diddy, leaking court documents tied to an upcoming lawsuit he's scrambling to hide. The files suggest Diddy could face serious legal consequences, and Jaguar is making it clear she won't let him slip away this time.
Like, that's the thing, this trial, the sentencing, the verdict, all the hyperbole, all of the pomp and circumstance, all of the this, all of that, it means nothing. It means nothing. This was all done for the public's entertainment. This was all done to get people like me to be quiet. This was all done to give weirdos like Vladimir Lyuski and Torre the ability to constantly challenge and try to check my veracity, my actuality, my truth, and to get the public to not believe whistleblowers like me. That's why this was done. This ain't even about Diddy. It's about the rest of them. Do you know they're still having white parties?
Diddy's 4-year sentence doesn't match the severity of what he's accused of, and he knows it. Jaguar says Cassie never got real justice. After decades of alleged abuse, Diddy ended up in a low-security camp. Cassie risked everything to speak out, yet the system still failed her.
Getting sentenced to 4 years, does Cassie get justice in all this? Does that look like...
Still not enough. Still not enough. And it's wild because she's getting such a better deal than dear Lee Cordell Smith is.
$30 million and your perpetrator gets 50 months? I mean...
Still not enough.
Jeez.
Her life is never going to be the same. And people are going to find ways to make her life complicated, to force her to have to spend that $30 million every way they possibly can. You know, there is no up. There is no win. Haven't I been saying that?
This trial felt like a complete joke. The Fed supposedly had plenty of evidence but never used it, and even Diddy didn't seem to take things seriously. Before sentencing, his lawyer said he was booked for a speaking event in Miami, and Jaguar now claims it was actually at a children's school. Yes, a registered offender scheduled to talk to kids about being a better person. You couldn't make this up.
Please.
There's a woman, what is it called? Sprout to Success or something like that. Some kind of charter school, private, independent private school in Miami Gardens, which is right there in the area of South Florida where he's been warden for Satan. Because he ain't nothing but a shepherd for the devil. But she was going to invite him to come to the school to speak to her students there, K through 12. Yeah. You want to know what I find really interesting? All of these people that wanted to bring him to schools and bringing him this and bringing him that. How the hell are they going to do that when he's on the SEX offenders registry list? He's not allowed to be around kids.
That does make moving a little hard.
He's not allowed to be around school. He's on the registry. Didn't I already do a tutorial about the registry? Like, I don't know. He is a registered SEX offender, and people want to bring him to school.
He may not be able to outrun these allegations much longer. With over 100 civil lawsuits filed, Jaguar believes the behavior described in those cases could finally lead to serious consequences. She says karma is catching up, and once these civil suits move forward, Diddy won't be able to avoid accountability.
Being long, they say with points and time served and any type of... He might be out by Christmas next year.
People say a lot of things. You know what else they said? They said he was going to get bail. How did that work? You know what else they said at the end of that trial? Even after he was found guilty of the Mann Act, they was putting together a 4th of July party. How did that work? People say a lot of things, don't they? I guess they don't hear God say no. I don't know what's going to happen to him. I'm not even trying to guess. What I am praying for, though, is that real victims and real survivors actually get the attention that they deserve, that they get the justice that they...
Diddy's money can only protect him for so long. According to these allegations, there's evidence that could push things beyond civil court. Similar to how Cassie's lawsuit was strong enough for Diddy to settle just one day after it was filed. But even with billionaire status, he can't quietly settle 100 different cases.
Hoping that the other 100 civil cases will not just be left at civil cases and will actually be turned to criminal cases, because they should be, because I got a big issue with everyone thinking that money is the end all be all into stopping a predator from operating. It is not.
Amen.
It is not. Why do so many of these cases stay civil? Why aren't they turned criminal when there's criminal acts all through the pages?
Can you file a criminal charge and still get money off of a can you sue later, or is it strictly victims looking for money?
Simpson's family, OJ was acquitted and they was able to take him to civil court and get him for bread. It really doesn't matter which way you do it.
That is true.
It can go either way. A civil proceeding and a criminal proceeding is just two different proceedings. But if you have criminal acts in a civil proceeding, just because someone gets paid or it gets settled and people get paid out, it doesn't mean that those acts shouldn't be tried criminally.
The most surprising part of this whole situation is how little the feds seem to act on what they collected. They reportedly took computers and other items from Diddy's mansion, yet none of it made it into the courtroom. It raises a question. If they had all this evidence, why wasn't any of it used? If the feds truly push further, the outcome could look very different.
Runs up onto multiple properties. And they collected all kinds of things that never made it to that courtroom, did it? Not one mention of a firearm. Not one mention, even though some of the testimony said that he carried fire. The way Kid Cudi's car, the way that whole situation happened, I mean, it was on court document. People were sitting there talking about it, and they still trying to act like that never happened. Capricorn clock. Is everybody forgetting her testimony? I'm just trying to figure it out. Oh, it was all Cassie. Cassie was the mastermind, but she was doing it all with his corporate credit card. That means it's his money. Was she the mastermind? Come on. And now, because all of that stuff was redacted, and because all of that stuff was kept off the record, and for whatever reason, the feds didn't present a lot of stuff that would have made sure that he was gone forever, rather than just being gone to November. And it's not going to be November. See, that sentencing.
All the serious charges against Diddy were dropped, and he got just 4 years instead of the 9 recommended. The same judge who denied him bail 6 times is now giving him a light sentence and telling him to change. As Jaguar said, this trial was nothing more than a show.
That it might go until Monday. I was actually kind of surprised that it didn't, considering the show that they put on for the public. They put on such a lovely show.
That was a show.
Wouldn't you say?
That was a show.
It was a video montage.
Oh my God.
You would have thought it was like a retirement ceremony. Or, someone winning an award for, lifetime achievement or something. the way they sat there and the way they carried on and the way, especially when it gets to the point where lawyers are forcing themselves to tears or almost to tears, talking about how inspiring that deviant is.
Oh, man.
Remember, Diddy worked with the feds, but even immunity won't help if 100 people sue him at once. He already cooperated as much as he could to reduce his sentence. If another investigation hits, he won't have anything left to trade for leniency.
I'm saying if he starts snitching.
I mean, I don't think. I mean, he would have to turn over at this point in time. He would have to turn over a whole lot, and he's going to do some time because, unlike the public, the judge knows exactly what he did. The judge has seen all of the evidence of everything that was kept out, of everything that was redacted, of everything that wasn't presented.
Right.
Like that. That's the reason why he's still in there. If it was such a clean sweep and if it was such a neat sweep, he would have been got bombed.
Right. That makes sense.
It's not that, yeah, but see, that's the danger of the media. That's the danger of the media. How many bot farms have been put to task to work the algorithm and to work the thumbnails and the storylines of what's really going on?
Jaguar got hold of the court documents for Derek Lee Cardelou Smith, the only man to ever beat Diddy in court with a $100 million win. Now, he's teaming up with Jaguar, armed with evidence, and isn't staying quiet.
It's disappeared. Do you know what I thought when I heard it myself? I said, oh, it must have not been real. Because there's no way in the world this isn't going to make it to that trial. You want to know what's even funnier? Diddy went to that jail to visit Derek his damn self in 2024.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. Guess what name he was using to go to that jail to visit Derek so nobody would know it was him?
John Smith?
Brother Love.
Oh, shit.
What is clergy?
Damn. This is very wild. What made you?
Guess where he went? Just a couple of days before HSI raided all of his properties. Fuck you mean? What do I think about the powers that be? What you want me to think?
But wait. What made you find this rabbit?
It wasn't just Diddy's lawyers trying to keep Derek quiet. Diddy reportedly visited him in jail and spoke about the trial, showing just how concerned he is about what Derek might reveal.
Agnaphila. You want to know what's funny? While Mark Agnaphila was sitting there making fun of Baby Oil and doing all of the stuff that he was doing in court and creating all of that nice guy hoopla, trying to get everyone to believe that Diddy is not such a terrible person and that he's a wonderful man and he deserves to go back to Madison Square Garden and he's going to be right there to cheer him on. Do you want to know where else he was? In Wayne County. Negotiating with Derek Lee Cardelou Smith.
Wow.
His victim.
Wow.
Why would he be in negotiations with him if he actually believed that everything that he said in that courtroom was true?
Sounds like a fixer.
Sounds like a fixer. A fucking liar.
Boy.
You think I give a shit about that sentencing? Let me regale you.
And as you're pulling it up,
Is it your testimony that you have your team of technicians at the crime lab who can and have manipulated evidence to place grapes not only on Derek Lee Cordello Smith, but other men as well, with the end result being they will plead because they have no choice. And they know you will get convictions because the SA victims in those cases are actually victims of Sean Combs and of the actual slavery ring in Michigan. And guess what the witness's response was? So what? Yeah.
this is America.
There's a reason Diddy ended up at Fort Dix. It's not just about the drug program. As a low-security camp, it's far less secure than the MDC where he was before. If he wanted, he could walk out. It seems like Diddy's backup plan in case the civil suits start getting serious.
Status level.
affected his pockets. It's just left him. He still got enough to play with.
Got a lot to play with. I mean,
Yeah, for now. For now. They want him to go to New Jersey. They want him to go to Fort Dix, one of the weakest guarded federal penitentiaries in the United States. I would know. I know Fort Dix. It's a real nice place to take somebody. So when they finally get to go outside out in the yard, they can just get somebody to come and extract them right up out of there. You can leave and you don't have to worry about ever being held accountable. See, I'm not dumb. I ain't nobody's fool. People like being fooled these days. People like being lied to. They want to believe in the land of make-believe. Diddy said sorry, and now we can all go home and have ice cream. Fuck you mean?
Diddy has been in prison for just 2 weeks, and reports say he's already backsliding. According to TMZ, officials caught him drinking prison-made alcohol. He claimed to the judge that he was sober and changed, but this slip could end up adding years to his sentence.
He got caught drinking in prison. This comes after Diddy was begging the judge at his sentencing hearing to let him free that day because he said he was a changed man, and this was the first time that he was sober in 25 years. Now, according to TMZ, Diddy has run into some trouble with prison officials after he was caught with homemade alcohol. And in prison, it's usually called hooch, but this homemade alcohol that Diddy was caught with was made of Fanta, apples, and sugar. According to TMZ, the prison officials did want to move Diddy to a new unit after he got caught with this homemade alcohol, but they ended up reversing that decision, and it looks like Diddy is staying in the unit that he is in. What makes this even worse for Diddy is the fact that he is already ruining his potential shot to get an early release. You know that one of the reasons why Diddy wanted transported to Fort Dix prison is because the programs that they offer. That's because some of the programs that are offered at Fort Dix could give Diddy potentially up to a year off of his sentence. That's only if Diddy could be accepted and finish the program. And one of the things that they will deny you entry into these programs for is messing up and doing things you're not supposed to do. I mean, Diddy hasn't even been at Fort Dix for a full 2 weeks yet, and he's already doing things like this. Honestly, I can't say any of us are surprised. If Diddy is already getting in trouble and he's only been at this prison for 2 weeks, he still has a long time to go.
TMZ said Diddy is airing out dirty laundry for inmates. They said Sean Diddy Combs is being put to work behind bars, and his first federal prison job has him doing an old fluff and fold. That's probably what Diddy was ordering with those escorts. A fluff and fold special. Sources familiar with the situation tell us Diddy's first gig at Fort Dix in New Jersey plants him in the laundry room, washing and drying dirty clothes. Manual labor may come as a shock to Diddy. During his criminal trial, federal prosecutors claimed he couldn't even charge his own phone or fetch a bottle of water and would send his army of personal assistants to basically do everything for him.
Unsurprisingly, Diddy's lawyers deny the reports. His team even used his former account to post a now-deleted tweet claiming the rumors were false, saying, Mr. Combs' only focus is becoming the best version of himself and returning to his family.
Diddy Combs is setting the record straight about his life behind bars, following a report that said the rap mogul, who is serving a 4-year sentence for 2 prostitution-related convictions, was caught drinking homemade alcohol in prison. His spokesperson emphatically denies the allegation, telling People magazine in a statement published November 9th, there have been several false and reckless reports circulating about Mr. Combs. He has not violated any prison rules. His sobriety and self-discipline are priorities, and he is taking them seriously. The 56-year-old was recently transferred to a low-security correctional facility in New Jersey after spending over a year at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. At the new institution, he was alleged to have created a mixture of Fanta, sugar, and apples, which ferments into alcohol after 2 weeks, TMZ reported. The spokesperson continues, this is only his first week at FCI Fort Dix, and unfortunately, rumors will surface throughout his time there. We ask the public and press to give him the benefit of the doubt, the privacy to focus on his personal growth, and the grace to move forward in peace.
Criminal lawyers say Diddy's requirement to register as a sex offender will make his life far more difficult than it already is. The freedom that once fueled his actions is gone, and any misstep could send him back to prison. According to experts, Diddy's time of getting away with things is over. He just hasn't realized it yet.
Tagged with 2 felonies. He's not free to go about and do what he wants to do. For the next, 89 months or thereabouts, he's going to be under the control of the federal government. And that's no little thing for a guy like this. So here's what supervised release is going to be like for him. It'll be intense at first. They'll drug test him. They'll put monitoring software on his devices. They will, they'll have constant meetings and check-ins and that kind of thing once he gets out of prison. And as time goes on and he demonstrates compliance, the supervision will get less and less intense, probably to the point where he just has to call in once in a while. But if you get too complacent and all of a sudden, you don't register, or all of a sudden, porn's an addiction, right? And, if you're looking at porn all the time, guess what? It's tough to stop that. It just is. And I've known clients that have, violated their conditions over and over again, and they wind up going back to prison. Now, Diddy seems to me like he's got some discipline. He doesn't follow the rules. And, the first violation could be like 18 months. The second violation could be this, or he could be demonstrating such good compliance that he gets off early, which happens quite often, okay, well, now that but he still has to register as a sex offender. He still has to do all these different things. Even after he's off of supervised release, he'll still have to register. And if he goes to Miami, because his home's in New York, he's got to check in with the local sheriff and say, hey, sex offender in town, that's what he got to do. This is not an easy thing for him to have to deal with down the road. But is it life in prison? No, it's not. Is it 20 years in prison? No, it's not. Is it even 10 years? No, it's not. But it's still going to be something he has to deal with. So it's no little thing that he is part of this community of people that have to be supervised, and he gave the government a big foray into controlling his life. And that's what happens when you just...
Diddy's life in prison is reportedly at risk, even with his wealth. Assaults on women don't sit well with other inmates. Sources say he was recently attacked, waking up to a knife at his throat, and only being saved by a correctional officer.
Diddy... Obviously, just starting out his time, well, not just starting out, but starting out his official sentence since being sentenced not too long ago. And I think suffice to say, it's not going well so far.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. He's got 4 years and change that he's going to ultimately have to serve, although he has served already a year as he awaited his trial and then went through his trial. So ultimately, probably he was going to serve about 2.5 years or so, but it's still serious time that he's going to have to serve. And he has already, at least if you listen to people close to Diddy, been the victim of violence behind bars. So there was an incident that we first learned about 2 weeks ago during Diddy's sentencing hearing, and he said, I was sleeping in my bed in the prison. It's a federal detention facility in Brooklyn called MDC Brooklyn, and there are federal inmates who are in many cases waiting for their trial as well. And Diddy claimed that somebody held a knife to his throat. He woke up and this guy basically had him, and he had the knife, and Diddy was at this person's mercy. Now, it's unclear what exactly happened from there. Was there a guard that came in? Did Diddy somehow fight this person off? Well, seems unlikely that happened. Or did the person just leave? Bottom line, this guy, at least according to people close to Diddy and Diddy himself, could have hurt him badly or even taken his life. And I think that was something they wanted known during the hearing because they wanted the judge to take some pity on Diddy. It probably didn't help ultimately because he does get the 4+ year sentence. But again, this just is something that is the reality of life for Diddy right now. It's a guy who's worth hundreds of millions of dollars who is now living in a prison cell and will be at least, again, for the next 2.5 years.
Amid all this, Jaguar isn't backing down. Teaming up with Derek, she could soon become Diddy's worst nightmare. With court documents, evidence, and lawsuits piling up, neither his wealth nor fame can protect him. Every move is being watched, every secret is at risk, and any attempt to dodge accountability could backfire.
There needs to be someone here who's been here all along. I've been waiting for this moment for 5 years, and here we are. And I'm praying that everyone remembers there are survivors, real life survivors. And I hope that everyone takes into account how necessary a true verdict, a just verdict now. 25 years of pain, 25 years of hurt. And I'm praying that God's just going to do what he told me he's going to do. So I hope we're all just staying in vigilant prayer for everyone on all sides of this. These are human issues, and we need to have real human response and emotion.
Do you plan to be here every day? I mean, during this trial, we're expected to hear.
I'm going to be around.
Have you spoken with anyone who might be possibly testifying, or have you spoken with anybody?
That I cannot say. But what I will say is my prayers for I'll be sure are being answered day by day. From the moment that we found out he flatlined to the moment we found out he came back. I'm here vigilant for that. Justice for Kim Porter. Support for Kim.
The feds may have dropped the ball before, but with over 100 lawsuits lined up, Diddy won't evade accountability for long. Jaguar isn't backing down, and Derek Lee Cardelou-Smith is ready to make sure he faces the consequences. The next chapter of this story is just beginning.